Not liking Pokimane is no different than not liking McDonald's, and there's nothing wrong with that. Well, here I am realizing what I should make a video on, and the dartboard just ends up landing on Pokimane. How crazy. We're right back here again. To think I would be backtracking in drama. So as you guys already know, XQC was offered a $100 million deal from Kick, and of course, Pokimane had something to say about it. To make a long story short, you would be compromising your morals and ethics to be taking that $100 million check like XQC. If you want more money, if you already have money, you are a terrible person with no morals and ethics. So at what point does someone make so much money that they shouldn't accept more money, huh? That's kind of crazy to me. It's her opinion, I get it, so I'm going to accept it at the end of the day. As we're getting to the meat and the potatoes, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. Also, watch the video until the very end because I want you guys to hear everything I have to say, because it allows me to make more content. I get it. Pokimane would decide not to take the money and not take the deal. But to say taking the deal would be immoral, that's a whole nother story. I mean, it's pretty safe to say that XQC already has money, right? And now if XQC were to take this deal, then I guess he would seem immoral in her logic and through her own words. Not trying to twist it and turn it, but I think it's pretty safe to think this way, especially when she's talking like this around the same time XQC is getting the same Kick deal, but for way more money. 100 million. So if XQC were to take this deal, he would be immoral in Pokimane's eyes. She didn't say this herself, but that is the conclusion we can come to based on her opinion. And that's fine. She can definitely criticize people for being quote unquote greedy with money, if you even want to think that way. And for having an opinion, people are not going to agree with it. So of course, she's going to have backlash. And in her defense, Myth says, I'm going to say it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Pokimane making her own decision about not wanting to be on the platform. Y'all be projecting like a motherfucker simply because she wants to operate differently than y'all. What happened to live and let live, fake motherfuckers? And Pokimane would retweet this because she's vibing with what Myth is saying. Myth is spitting facts, all right? After all, Myth a homie. Myth got her back, dog. You know, if you don't agree with Pokimane's decision, there's something wrong with you, all right? You're not a human being. You're terrible, you're a bully, and you're just a guy online who likes to harass people. All because you don't want to agree with someone who operate differently than y'all. And man, I kind of do find it funny because Myth completely misses the point. People are not criticizing her about not wanting to be on Kick. People are criticizing her for thinking anyone is immoral for simply wanting more money, even if they already have that money, because let's say in some circumstances, maybe some of us want to make generational wealth. She's not being criticized for wanting to be on a platform. She's being criticized for putting herself on a moral high horse.
No, and it's not because I got like $10 million. It's just because I'm good as I am. Why would I compromise my morals and ethics for more money when I have money? Something about that is so cringe to me personally.
You know what? Myth, you make a really good point. A very good point. And I like how Pokimane agrees with what he's saying. Now, let's put this in a broader perspective. The irony is actually hilarious. If you don't know, now you know. Pokimane years ago took another YouTuber sponsor away from them because they had an opinion about her, all right? A video that was 20 minutes with a video criticizing her, okay? Everyone can have their own opinion. But if you have an opinion about Pokimane, you're just a supervillain for some reason. So if a random YouTuber decides to make a video on Pokimane and we're preaching about the idea of living and let live, why is there an issue with any videos that criticize Pokimane? But when she gets criticized, we're supposed to live and let her live. And Pokimane can also agree with the idea of what happened to live and let live? Where was letting It's a Gundam live and let himself financially have his sponsor and keep his stability? But no. It's all bad in It's a Gundam's case. He's a terrible person for having an opinion on another content creator.
She can't believe anyone would sponsor these shenanigans. Like, what? And I will say, for this company to sponsor a video that's literally 20 minutes of talking shit about me, you will never see. Dude, your website's so ass it won't even load. But if you ever reach out to me, if I ever see you in my inbox, on site. On fucking site.
Oh, god damn. I just find it funny, like, way back when, if there's a 20-minute video about someone saying shit about me that I didn't like, why would I watch it? It's not like you can just turn off your computer and get away from it. This is stuff that they taught me in 2nd grade about internet safety. Isn't that crazy? But instead of just ignoring criticism and just being you and staying in your lane, we gotta take the opportunity to attack people financially and take away their sponsors. How professional, how petty. But even then, Pokimane wants to facilitate the legislation to hold people accountable for what they do online.
I would like to facilitate the creation of legislation that holds people accountable for the actions that they do online. I don't know if I should get into the details because it might rattle some folks, but yes.
You can't make this up. She wants to hold people accountable for what they do online. Let's just think about that. What kind of accountability is anyone avoiding online right now? Because me speaking my opinion about her in this video leaves me viable to have other people to criticize my opinion. Now, should I have jail time for an opinion? You know, that same accountability is also used on Pokimane, but when she's held accountable for her own opinion, it's a problem, and everyone is just fake as fuck for disagreeing with that. Isn't that funny? Isn't that ironic even? Now, let's just say anyone in the commentary section of YouTube actually ends up continuing to criticize her and she wants the online legislation to hold more people accountable. Are we just gonna simply forget the most simple and basic common sense that was actually created by our founding fathers so many years ago? The First Amendment, all right, which states Congress shall make no law abridging freedom of speech. So let's just say if she wants to pass legislation to hold people accountable for any of their criticisms against her, because obviously that's probably the only thing rattling in that brain of hers.
To sponsor a video that's literally 20 minutes of talking shit about me? Oh, is this a video where some random dude behind a VR machine calls a girl a thought for 20 minutes? Really want to put my logo on that one. Ha ha.
Because as we saw with It's a Gundam's case, she clearly doesn't like when anyone has an opinion about her. God forbid you do. Or if you hold her accountable for any opinion she has, it's now a problem that is so deep that she has to make a law for it. I'm sorry, bro. She wants to make it a law. She wants to make a law so nobody can fucking criticize her. How big and fragile does your ego have to be to want to create a law so nobody can criticize you? What world are we living in? You simps let this kind of corruption and crazy nonsense get into such a position of power. Absolutely insane. If she actually just shits on the First Amendment, wow, I will be surprised. I will easily come to the conclusion that the world has gone to shit if she can do that. I doubt it, though. That just sounds like nonsense. But hey, maybe she might just prove me wrong. Who knows? Because with an army of simps, anything is possible. You gotta thank the simps for ruining everything else for all the other men that actually are worth a damn on the planet. Shout out to my neckbeards with their fedoras. Just imagine being so hurt by random people on the internet, which doesn't even entirely affect you in any way. If not, it's only helping, because I have not seen anyone talk about Pokimane so much in recent memory up until now. If anything, her critics are keeping her alive. outside of these neckbeards. Because to be fair, I forgot she even existed. I thought she retired. But just imagine being in a world where instead of deciding to just block some people or just ignore what they're saying, you're just going to try and make a law instead. Pokimane is definitely Shido from Persona 5. Egotistical, corrupt, and honestly fragile, because the thing is, anything anyone says ultimately means nothing because it's just an opinion. Now, if people disagree with your opinion and you don't like it, guess what? You can feel free to prove them wrong or just not do anything and just let those people be dumb haters. You think someone with so much fame would realize this? All I'm gonna say is you can only imagine what kind of horror she's up to trying to pass a law like this when you saw firsthand what she did to It's a Gundam. Now, was any of that even necessary? Fuck no, easily not. And there are people on these platforms that genuinely do deserve to be held accountable for what they do. But if you're just gonna try and shit on people because they don't like what you say or they may not like you, that doesn't really seem viable. Because at the end of the day, if they dislike Pokimane, it means nothing. Because Pokimane is just a brand that you sell yourself with. Not liking Pokimane is no different than not liking McDonald's. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get dogpiled on, I get shit on the internet every single day. But do I need to pass a law for it? Because these are just comments and videos on the internet. And that's all it will ever be. I think the best takeaway here is for Pokimane, it's the follow myths, helpful advice, and live and let live. Because after all of these things that she's doing is making her look worse off instead of just letting people have their opinions. Like I said, the critics are keeping her alive right now, and if anything, she should be satisfied. This is the most I've seen her trend in a while, and there ain't no shame in it.